3 in the morning. Somewhere between Hanoi and Jakarta, a port glows under sodium lights. Cranes move in slow arcs like sleeping giants breathing. Below the waves, fiber optic cables carry more wealth in a minute than most nations generate in a day. There's no sound, just the hum of electricity rearranging the world. This transformation didn't announce itself. It crept in while trust between superpowers quietly shattered. 2018 arrives like a storm nobody predicted. American tariffs slice through Chinese supply chains that took 2 decades to build. Then the pandemic hits. Factories in Guangdong go dark, and CEOs watch their production lines freeze mid-assembly. In boardrooms from California to Frankfurt, executives whisper the same 2 words: China +1. Not betrayal, survival. The machinery that fed the world suddenly feels like a trap. Rain falls on empty container yards in Shenzhen, and 700 miles south, phones begin ringing in languages Mandarin factories never learned. Vietnam enters first, quiet, efficient, unforgiving. Imagine watching a river change direction. For years, investment poured into Shanghai's skyline. Then, overnight, gravity reversed. Chinese money that once stayed home now crosses borders. $3 billion a year becomes $10 billion between 2022 and 2024. But those are just numbers. What really happened? Entire production lines unbolted from concrete floors, packed into shipping containers, and reassembled in industrial parks outside Haiphong, while the machines were still warm. By 2025, the flow becomes a flood. $24 billion in 7 months. That's enough to build a new factory every 14 hours. Walk through any Western city and look at the white earbuds in every third ear. 2 out of 3 were born in Vietnam. Hanoi doesn't manufacture products anymore. It manufactures certainty. Indonesia moves next. Louder, hungrier, riskier. Jakarta's air tastes like diesel and ambition. The government makes a bet that would terrify cautious nations. 2 million electric cars and 12 million electric motorcycles by decade's end. That's not a projection. It's a hostage demand made to the future. To make it real, they drop taxes from 11% to 1% on electric vehicles. It's not an incentive. It's desperation dressed as policy. BYD smells opportunity and commits $1.5 billion. The math is brutal. For every car sold, the government forfeits more revenue than it collects. But the factories arrive anyway. 27,000 new electric vehicles flooding streets every single week for 5 years straight. Thailand sees the same opening and doubles down. $6.5 billion flows into battery plants and assembly lines. Chinese automakers inject 50 billion baht. Japan counters with 150 billion. Tesla quietly opens a service hub in Bangkok. By 2030, 1 in 3 vehicles rolling off Thai production lines will run on lithium instead of gasoline. Rice paddies and beach resorts built this economy. Now it bets everything on voltage and software. Meanwhile, Malaysia dematerializes. At night, Kuala Lumpur's skyscrapers stand dark and hollow. But 80 kilometers away in Cyberjaya, server farms consume enough electricity to power a small city, cooling the machines that generate 1/4 of the nation's wealth. $16 billion exists only as heat and data. Google, Microsoft, and Nvidia don't build factories here. They build the invisible infrastructure that runs the planet. Malaysia doesn't produce things you can hold anymore. It produces the logic that makes holding things unnecessary. Then, the digital eruption. Between 2015 and 2021, online commerce grows from 320 billion to 900 billion across Asia. That's not adoption, it's obliteration. Every second, physical retail loses $3,000 to screens. Shopping malls become tombs. Payment systems evolve past recognition. More than half of Asia's banks now move money through stablecoins. 1 click replaces 3 days of bureaucracy. Currency stops being paper. It becomes light. But light can flicker. In mid-2025, Indonesia's foreign investment dropped 7% in a single quarter, the steepest fall since the pandemic. Malaysia's collapses from nearly 4 billion to just 381 million. The Philippines watches capital withdraw faster than it arrives. Only 3% of the region's digital workers focus on artificial intelligence, half the global average. The machinery hums, but parts are missing. Growth continues, but limps. Yet 700 million people keep building. An Apple supplier closes its Shenzhen office and opens in Bac Ninh. A battery plant breaks ground outside Bangkok before permits finish processing. A fintech app in Jakarta settles 10 million transactions while the city sleeps. No speeches, no ceremonies, just 10,000 decisions compounding. Return to the port at dawn. The cranes still swing. The cables still pulse beneath the sea. But what moves through them has changed. Every second, 18 pairs of AirPods leave a Vietnamese assembly line. Packaged, labeled, shipped to everywhere. The world's economic center of gravity no longer anchors in New York or London. It drifts toward the equator. Silent, irreversible, complete.